Captain America the Winter Soldier is the sequel to Captain America the First Avenger and the third movie in Phase 2 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, Captain America the First Avenger is a movie that I actually really liked. I loved seeing the story of how Captain America came to be. I loved seeing what he did in World War II that made him the decorative war hero that he is. I just loved seeing what he was capable of doing that helped the United States ultimately win World War II. But I will admit, when Captain America the Winter Soldier was initially announced, I was slightly skeptical towards it. Simply because Captain America is not like the other Avengers. You know, he's not like Iron Man or Hulk or Thor who just have these big all-time superpowers. Captain America is more superhuman, which left me wondering what exactly he's going to bring to the present day that's going to make him a really legitimate badass superhero. And Captain America the Winter Soldier showed me that he can apparently bring a lot to it. I think this movie is absolutely fantastic. I thought it was one of the best movies of 2014, and I'm really stoked to be talking about it with you guys. So towards the beginning of this movie, we see Captain America, Black Widow, and a bunch of other S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. They're trying to board this ship that's holding a lot of other S.H.I.E.L.D. agents hostage. And right out the gate, you just see how much of a badass Captain America truly is. He jumps out of the plane with no parachute, he boards the ship, he's boomeranging his shield around to different bad guys to take them all out. And yeah, he's probably throwing that shield around and catching it in a lot of really impossible ways, but it still looked awesome. But what's also great about it is you see here how much Captain America has grown. You see him fighting against these guys with different martial arts skills. You can tell he's been trained in the arts of present day. It makes him that much more of a threat to the bad guys, and it's a lot more entertaining for the movie itself, which is awesome. Captain America is able to free all of the hostages, but he also discovers that Black Widow has went and downloaded some data that she needs to bring back to S.H.I.E.L.D., which I guess was like a side mission assigned to her. Captain America has absolutely no idea what this might have meant, so when they get back to S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters, Nick Fury decides to explain it to him. And Fury tells Cap that apparently this data is meant to help start up Project Insight. Project Insight revolves around 3 helicarriers linked to spy satellites in order to help track down big threats to the world, such as terrorists or really bad criminals, anything like that. And Nick Fury's reasoning behind this is because through this, they can now take out these people before they can do anything bad to the world. However, Captain America doesn't really like this approach because he doesn't necessarily just see it as someone who's going to end threats before they start. He sees it as S.H.I.E.L.D. holding a gun to everyone's head and calling it freedom. And I just love this moment because it shows right here just how much of a true patriot Captain America is. He doesn't want anything to be governed by fear or violence or the threat of death because he knows that's not what true justice and peace is. Later on in the movie, Nick Fury is on his way to rendezvous with Miranda Hill when all of a sudden these police cars just all smash into his SUV and are shooting at him, trying to kill him. And I'm just gonna take a moment to appreciate how awesome Nick Fury's SUV is in this scene. I mean, this thing can auto drive for him, it can tell him how much damage is being done to the vehicle, and it's armed with a little minigun that he can use to fire against these officers. It's awesome. This scene is intense, it's riveting. You see Nick Fury having to drive through the streets trying to avoid these people, and it almost looks like Nick Fury's gonna get away, but just before he can, some masked assassin right in front of him just fires a little grenade under the SUV, which completely flips it over, leaves Fury stuck in there. Luckily, Nick Fury is able to escape from the SUV just before this guy can kill him, and he makes his way to Captain America's apartment. He tells Cap that S.H.I.E.L.D. has been compromised, someone out there is trying to kill him, but before he can tell him anything else, someone just fires through these walls at Nick Fury. Nick Fury is critically wounded. Captain America discovers that it's the same assassin who tried to kill Nick Fury earlier. So Captain America is just in pursuit of this guy. He's trying to catch him, and he tries to even throw his shield at this guy. But then this guy just turns back around and he catches the shield with his metallic arm and just throws it back at Captain America. Which leaves you sitting there like, holy shit, this dude is a complete badass. But who the hell is he? In the meantime, Nick Fury is just rushed to the hospital. The doctors there try to do the surgery on him, but it's not enough. Nick Fury dies. Captain America eventually meets up with Alexander Pierce, who's a senior S.H.I.E.L.D. official. He wants to get more information on what happened to Nick Fury. However, Nick Fury's last words to Captain America were, "Don't trust anyone." So with that, Captain America refuses to tell Pierce about anything. And because Captain America has refused to tell Pierce anything, Pierce now labels Captain America as a fugitive. Captain America is just in an elevator. He's on his way out, and a bunch of these S.H.I.E.L.D. agents come in and join him in the elevator. And Captain America immediately knows what all of their intentions are, and with that he just sits there and says, before we get started, does anybody want to get out? And with that, Captain America just beats the living shit out of every single one of these guys. He takes them down completely. Best part is though, once it's all over, he just kick flips his shield up to him, catches it on his arm, and it's so cool. This scene just continues to show how much of a badass Captain America is and how he's not gonna let anything stop him from doing what's right. Captain America eventually meets up with Black Widow once again, and now the goal is to try to figure out who was it that killed Nick Fury. Black Widow tells him that it was someone known as the Winter Soldier, who's been credited with so many kills in the last 50 years. And that if they're gonna successfully track this guy down and defeat him, they need to download the data that was from that ship from the beginning of the movie. And through this flash drive, they discover there's a secret SHIELD bunker in New Jersey. So the two of them go into this bunker and they use the data to activate this supercomputer that they find, which turns out to contain the preserved consciousness of Arnim Zola, the head scientist from Hydra. And Zola explains to the two of them that after SHIELD was founded after World War II, he was recruited to help start it. But all he did was secretly implant Hydra within SHIELD, and now it has been growing within the organization. He reveals that Hydra has been behind so many global crises to try to get humanity to surrender its freedom to obtain security, and that Hydra eliminated anyone who would potentially get in their way, such as Howard Stark. And Zola here reveals that Project Insight is the final step in Hydra's plan. He has developed an algorithm that is going to target anyone who could potentially be a threat to Hydra's plans in the future, and then Hydra will proceed to use the helicarriers to kill anyone they believe could be a threat to them. However, before anything else can happen, Zola reveals that he's been stalling, and now SHIELD has tracked the two of them to where they are. They fire a missile at the bunker to kill them. The two of them survive the bombing, but not before discovering that Alexander Pierce is the new head of the Hydra organization. The two of them know they're gonna need help if they're gonna stop Hydra, and with that, they go to meet with Sam Wilson. He's played by Anthony Mackie. He's a former pararescueman from the military. He's developed a very close friendship with Captain America due to both of their military experiences. Oh, and he also happens to have this sick jetpack with bird wings that officially makes him the Falcon. So now the three of them go to try to stop Project Insight, but on the way there, they get intercepted by the Winter Soldier. But what's really cool about this scene is we finally get to see Captain America and the Winter Soldier just fight each other. But during the fight, the Winter Soldier's mask is officially removed, and Captain America sees that he is in fact Bucky. Yeah, Hydra apparently captured Bucky after he fell off the train in World War II, and with that, they've turned him into their own Captain America, basically. They put him on ice, and then when the moment was right, they released him onto the world to do their bidding. However, Bucky apparently has absolutely no idea who he actually is. He continues to try to kill Captain America. But luckily, Maria Hill shows up, and she's able to save Captain America, Black Widow, and Falcon, and she brings them all to a safe house where Nick Fury is alive and well. He reveals although he suffered some bad injuries, he had to fake his death in order to prevent anyone else from trying to come after him. He also reveals that there is a plan to officially stop Project Insight from killing people, and that is they need to board these ships, install these controller chips that will officially shut down its targeting system and be unable to attack anybody. However, Captain America also says that they will do this, but not only does this mean the end of Hydra, but it will have to also mean the end of SHIELD, because even if SHIELD is gone, that means that no other terrorist organization will be able to infiltrate it again, and this will never have to happen again. I just love seeing that attitude in him. It's all about what's best for the safety of the people in the whole world. So with that, the next day, Black Widow infiltrates Alexander Pierce's meeting to expose Hydra to the public, while Captain America and Falcon board these helicarriers to shut them down. But what's really awesome here is we really get to see Falcon in action right here, and it's awesome. Kind of feel bad for him though, because he has to deal with all these helicarriers and fighter jets just full on firing at him. I mean, it's really cool seeing him fly with the suit, use his guns to take out the bad guys. You can tell in these moments that he truly is the perfect sidekick to Captain America. And eventually the heroes are able to place two of the controller ships into two of the helicarriers. But Falcon is eventually taken out of the fight when the Winter Soldier just grabs him and basically destroys his jetpack, and now he's going after Captain America. He stands in Captain America's way of getting to the helicarrier, and now Cap knows he has to fight him in order to do this. But what's great about this moment is you can clearly see that Cap doesn't want to fight him. You see the conflict in the fact that Cap wants to save the world, but he doesn't want to have to kill his best friend to do that. Luckily, Captain America is able to fend him off for a while, and in just the nick of time, he's able to take the controller chip, place it into the last helicarrier, and prevents anyone from being killed. With that, Maria Hill now resets the helicarriers to target each other so they can destroy one another. So now the vessels all just start firing at one another, but Captain America and the Winter Soldier are still on one of these helicarriers. And the Winter Soldier, he's still trying to kill Captain America, but Captain America is refusing to fight back. He's trying to remind him of who he truly is. But even still, as it seems like it's coming back to Bucky, he's still refusing to give in to it. He's just punching Captain America in the face again and again. His goal is to kill him. But Cap just looks at Bucky and he says to him, I'm not going to fight you because I'm with you till the end of the line. And it seems like in that moment, it finally clicks with Bucky. He starts to realize who he actually is. Bucky saves Captain America after he falls into a river, and with that, he just goes off on his own. With that, Hydra and S.H.I.E.L.D., they're both now just gone. Nick Fury and Black Widow, they both set off for different missions. Fury heading off to try to see if there's anything else that remains of Hydra, while Captain America and Falcon intend to go off to find the Winter Soldier. Later on in a mid-credit scene, we see this Hydra lab that's been running experiments based off of Loki's scepter. They've been running tests on various subjects to try to give these people certain powers. And the only ones who have survived these experiments are these two twins. One who has developed superhuman speed, the other that has developed telekinesis abilities. Had me very excited to see them in Age of Ultron, I can tell you that right now. And finally, in a post-credit scene, we see Bucky at the Smithsonian Museum trying to figure out a little bit more about who he is. So all in all, I think Captain America the Winter Soldier is a kick-ass movie. This movie did what every sequel should do, but very rarely does. Improve upon the original. The characters are better, the story is better, the action is better. Chris Evans continues to kill it as Steve Rogers / Captain America. Captain America is so much more badass in this movie, and it's awesome. I love Scarlett Johansson as Natasha Romanoff / Black Widow. She was a really interesting character in this movie. I love what she brought to this story. I love Anthony Mackie as Falcon. Samuel L. Jackson continues to kill it as Nick Fury. The Winter Soldier, I thought, was one of the best villains in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I love the twist how he ended up being Bucky. I can't wait to see how that further plans out in Civil War. It's gonna be great. I loved how they made the story, how Hydra is continuing to grow in S.H.I.E.L.D. I thought that was awesome for it. The action is exciting and intense. The visual effects are amazing. I really have no flaws with this movie. I think this is the best way they could have done a sequel to Captain America. Captain America the Winter Soldier, I think, is the best movie in Phase 2 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think it is by far and away the best standalone Marvel movie since the first Iron Man. Some might even say it's better than the first Iron Man as a standalone Marvel movie. I don't really know where I stand between the two, but I can certainly see an argument for either one. In the end, this movie was an excellent addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and after watching it last night, I'm only that much more pumped for Civil War. So that's all I gotta say, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.